Hello again, all Master Life Path number 11s. This is your June reading for 2019. I've already shuffled the deck and split the deck. So these are your cards for, we're going to do the Celtic Cross again, which I did last month. We also this month have an extra message that my two friends over here. We have an extra message from the Akashic Records cards, which I will read out of the book at the end of the main reading. I'm not going to go too much into the astrology. I put enough things on my posts on my page that are qualified astrologers, that if you seek that information, it's all there for you. I will, however, still do the new moons and the full moons for June. So we have a new moon in the sign of Gemini on the 3rd of June, and we have a full moon in the sign of Sagittarius on the 17th of June. So on a new moon, the day after, you would set your wishes and intentions, and for the full moon you would do a forgiveness and gratitudes list. I've covered these ones quite extensively, so if you want to go back to some of my other videos where I explain how to do those, you're quite welcome to do so. Anyway, I'm only going to say that with Gemini, it is the sign of communication, and Mercury is moving into Gemini, so there's two things about communication there, which has been coming up in a lot of the readings. So we'll get underway now with the placements of the cards, and as I place the cards down, I will tell you what the placements mean. So your first card for Master number 11s is you. What is crossing you? Your foundation, your past card, your present card, your future card, you yourself, your environment, your hopes and fears, and your final outcome card. If I need to clarify any cards, I will use the rest of the deck. And sorry, I was just looking at the bottom of the deck. I always like to check what's on the bottom of the deck because it can give you more information sometimes. So like I said, my two friends over here, they hold the Akashic Records card for you. Right, here we go. Your first card is the Two of Michael, which is, I call the decisions card. You have a decision to make, and as it reads at the bottom, it will be all better if you just make a decision. Over analysing a problem, find a compromise. So that's you yourself. You're at the position now. This is for June, that you need to make a decision one way or the other, or which path. It can also mean, you come to a crossroads that you make a decision of path A, path B sort of type thing. But the sooner that you make this decision, the better it will be, because the card crossing you is an extremely good card, and you have two here. It's an ace. An ace is always a new beginning. This is the Ace of Ariel, and if you can have a look down here, she's uncovered the ground and there's gold down there, or some coins. Ariel is a suit of coins. This can indicate unexpected resources of time, money, support, anything like that. So I'll read what it says at the bottom, and remember, this is the card that's crossing you, or your challenge. It says, it's your lucky day. New resources of money, time, or support, a change in job, or a promotion. So that is not a really big challenge, really. It's a new beginning, new financial resources, or support, or time. It says, though, it's your lucky day. So, like I say, it's not a very big challenge. You just have to accept it with gratitude, basically. but it's not going to happen until you make this decision, basically. That's the way I'm reading these cards on the table. You need to make this decision. The sooner the better. This is your first card, so at the beginning of June you have a decision to make, which will lead you to actually 2 aces. You've got 2 aces on the table, but this one is crossing you. So be grateful. Make that decision, because it's leading you onto a very good, spread here. Your foundation card here is the Page of Ariel, and it says reliable, clever, educated, and balanced. Now, if you can see her standing there in like a study hall or a library or a classroom, and she has a lot of books around her, which means, higher education, more education, upskilling, any one of those. It reads at the bottom, an excellent opportunity will be offered to you. Scholarships or pursuit of education, time to get to work. So this could be basically the decision that you might have to make about education, about upskilling, any one of those, or any one of the above sort of thing. But it's an excellent opportunity will be offered to you. And even in this card here, it says a change in job or a promotion. So that promotion could basically bring in this extra coin. But it is your foundation card. Your foundation card is getting more skilled at what you're doing, or changing your job. It doesn't have to be in the same job that you are, but you're being offered an opportunity, an excellent opportunity, basically, with your foundation card. I'm going to go straight into your past card here, and this is what you've been dealing with in the past. I hope you have anyway, because it's a lovely card. It is a major arcana card, and it's called Peace, with Archangel Azrael in this card. I think this is the Death card in the normal tarot, but in this card I like the depiction more of peace. It says, release the past, there is a more enriching future coming. Let go and let God. So basically what you've been doing in the past, some situation has ended, or there's been a death of a situation, we'll say. But in this card it does say peace, which I like a lot better than the death card. Scares most people, but it doesn't mean literal death, okay? But it says you're releasing the past, if I could speak properly, because there is a more enriching future coming. And there it is all on the table. You've got 2 aces here, and I'm going to go straight into your present card, which is the Ace of Michael. So there's been a few aces coming up in the readings. I think one reading in particular, they had 3 aces. So there's a lot of new beginnings sort of happening at the moment. It reads at the bottom, a wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. And like I said at the beginning, Gemini is the communication sign, and Mercury is going into Gemini. I think it's at the end of May. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I know it's in for the Gemini season sort of type thing, because that's what we're moving into, or when I'm doing these videos, I think it's just moved into Gemini. So there's a lot of communication coming up. You have, there's another communication card in your future here. But it says, a wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. So that is your present card. That's where you are at the moment. You have 2 aces. In your future card here, you have more communication coming in, because pages are always messengers. It says, gentle, loving, dreamy, and open-hearted. A new emotional situation. Messages regarding relationships or social invitations. Great intuitive insights. So that's where you're headed to in the future. There's more information coming in, but it's information regarding relationships or social invitations, which could mean you could get an invite to a wedding, to a party, there's a lot of scenarios with that one. but it's a new emotional situation that you're headed to, especially with these new beginnings here, the two aces. It's always a new beginning. This one, the one that's crossing you, is more financial. This one here is like your career, your life path, whatever, however you want to say that one. But your Page of Raphael here is a very, very good card. It's a new emotional situation, which it's always a happy one. It's not a sad one or anything like that. It's a new emotional situation, something that you've never maybe been through before. I'm going to go straight into this card here. It is a Major Arcana card. You've only got one this month, and it's the Magician, and it's number 1. And so it's talking about, the Magician is with Archangel Raziel, and it's talking about you can manifest the life that you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. So like I said, you've got 2 beginnings here. One is crossing you though. And I think once you have made this decision, this magical life will start to appear. It'll be interesting to see what your Akashic Records card is. With the Magician, he has all the tools and he needs in his tool belt. He has the wands, the cups, the swords, and the pentacles. He has everything in his tool belt to make this magical life happen. But it says you can manifest the life that you want. What you need will magically appear. Okay, so this is all about manifesting as well. There's many things on the internet about manifesting. It's one of the reasons why I do the new and full moon. So definitely I would be on the new moon, the day after the new moon on the 3rd, I would be writing your intention list or your wish list, if you like, because, you know, you're manifesting, you're in the position of manifesting this month. So what you manifest will magically appear, and what you want to manifest will magically appear. With the Magician, he's a very, very good card. It is a number 1 card, so it's all about the self. It's also his shadow side of the Magician is procrastination. Oh yeah, I'll get to it. I'll do that tomorrow, or I'll do it next week. This card is telling you to start now. Start in June. You've got 2 new beginnings. Don't procrastinate on it. Do that intention kit. Your environments card is the 2 of Raphael, which is the 2 of Cups in the normal tarot. It says 2 hearts dedicated to creating something wonderful, kindred spirits, and don't give up on those you love. This is the, like I said, it's the 2 of Cups in the normal Rider Waite tarot cards, which means it can be a soulmate relationship, it can be a karmic relationship, it can also be a twin flame relationship, which they're twin flames, they're throwing that out there quite a great deal on the internet at the moment about twin flames. But this is a relationship that is destined, sort of type thing. With soulmate relationships, karmic relationships, twin flames, they're not always a rosebud, if you get what I mean. If you're a soulmate, you're there to teach that other person, your other soulmate, a lesson in life. They can work out very, very well, but it takes compromise. But you are kindred spirits, sort of type thing. That's exactly what it says on the card. But it's something that, you know, both parties need to work at very, very hard on this relationship, sort of type thing. I don't know what else I can tell you about this card. It can also mean a business relationship. It does not have to be a love relationship, but 9 times out of 10 it is, okay? So that's your environment. So that might be one of your new beginnings. Remember, these are general readings, so maybe you might meet your soulmate, your twin flame, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go straight into your hopes and fears here, and it's the Knight of Michael, and it says strong, committed, intellectual, and diligent. Okay? It says time to move quickly. Choose logic over emotion, sudden changes. So there are sudden changes coming up. I think with these 2 aces and that 2 of Michael, once you've made that decision, it's full steam ahead, I think. It says time to move quickly, choose logic over emotion, sudden change. So there is going to be a sudden change. Don't fear it because it's all destined. What's happening now with astrology and everything at the moment, and especially I've done quite a few life path readings now over the months. It's all leading us to the year 2020. There's a lot of things that these retrograde planets and everything are bringing up to get us all to move in a different direction, to start doing what we love, to start being with who we love, and ending a lot of cycles out that need to, basically, things that need to be released from the past. Couldn't have said it any better than this card here, and you've been doing that. This is your past card. Your final outcome card here is the 7 of Michael. The 7 of Michael is the crossroads card for me. Well, it is a crossroads. You've come to a crossroads. You can pick either path A or path B, but if you have a close look, if I can stick my finger here, Archangel Michael is pointing to this path down here. This side is nice and light and clear. You can see right up, everything basically up into the path. This other path here that this young gentleman is going down is quite clouded, quite dark. And Archangel Michael here is pointing to this path. You're being pointed towards another path. I will read what it says on the bottom. It says, there is a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. Review all details. So that is your final outcome card. It's entirely up to you which path you choose, but you've got all the messages. You've got 2 aces, new beginnings. You've got the messages coming in about a new emotional situation. Here, a new emotional situation. You've got the 2 of Raphael, the 2 of Cups. It could be upskilling, all that sort of type thing. But I think it all depends on this decision. We can go to your first card and your last card. And there's your decision. Which path are you going to choose? But like it says on the 2 of Michael here, it will be all better if you just make a choice. If you just choose. Please don't procrastinate. Okay? These cards never lie. I've never had one of these cards lie to me yet. So that is your final outcome card, but I am going to pull a clarifier on the 7 of Michael, please. And there we go. And this is a major arcana card, and it's called Epiphany, which is the Hermit card in the traditional tarot. And it's with Archangel Raziel, and it says, joy through spiritual growth, be the light to others, answers that come through meditation. So, we're talking about these answers. You've basically had the answers here as well. Like it said in your past card, there is a more enriching future coming. You've had to wait for this future to come. You've got 2 new beginnings. Make that decision. There's a very important relationship. You have all the tools in your tool belt to deal with it and to handle it. you know, a wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps on the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems. And this one here is, it says, joy through spiritual growth, be the light to others, answers that come through meditation. So it's a matter of quietening the mind chatter, the self-talk, all that sort of type thing, so you can get those downloads of those messages, so to speak. The Hermit card is also talking about stepping away from other people just for a little bit to have that quiet time by yourself. If you have a day off work, you know, don't go into town and run around and do this and do that. Have that quiet time. Sit in your dressing gown until 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. It's only one day, you know. Take that time out. But just be quiet. Turn off all the white noise, the telephone, you know, your cell phones, the computers, the TV, and just have that quiet time. Go and have a relaxing bath. Chuck some candles in there. A glass of wine's not going to hurt. Just have that quiet time. So I'm going to pull one more card. Like I said, my cards never lie. You're at the end of a cycle. This is the 10 of Michael, and if you can see her there, she's standing on a stage and she's taking her final bow. And this is definitely an end of a cycle because you've got 2 new beginnings here. And it says, a situation has ended and you are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. Again, they're coming back to this card. I wondered why I kept coming back to this card. That decision that you make or have to make, it might be about putting the past behind you. But you're definitely, even with this card, you know, they're giving you the time to think about this new path in life. You know, you've got this new path basically being lit up like a Christmas tree. You're having the time to think about it, to have the meditation about it. And then at the end of it, you've got the 10 of Michael here, which is the end of a cycle, saying that, you know, a situation is ended and you are finally free. Or in this card, you're at peace, okay, with your decisions. New opportunities for happiness will follow. It's a pretty happy card, that one. 2 of Raphael. This is the soulmate connection. That's all that sort of type thing. So I'm going to leave that one there. I'm not going to pull any more clarifying cards because I think that's clarified it pretty well. Be interesting to see what your Akashic Records card is that my friends are holding over here. And it is the 7 of Roses, the Journey. I've pulled this card for myself a few times. It's a very good card. I'm going to read it out of the book. Hopefully you can see that without any glare on it. It says, the Journey. A seaport teems with activity as cargo is loaded off and onto many different ships. 2 women on a small tender boat are on their way to a great ship that will take them on their journey. 2 men with their trunks and cases wait to follow. This card shows a time for a journey, a move, a relocation. A move or a relocation. You may be taking your work or creative endeavours in a whole new direction, whether figuratively to a new industry or literally to a new city. However this journey occurs, it is sure to take you to new places and greater opportunities. Although it may require leaving something safe behind, this is not the time for staying safe in the harbour. It is time for finding and exploring new worlds, so get packed. And there's a little exercise they give you to do with the Akashic Records cards. It says, close your eyes and see yourself embarking on a magical journey. Feel movements will around you and anticipation fill you. So I'm going to read that one again. Sorry, guys. Feel movement swirl around you and anticipation fill you. Where do you want to go? How would you like to get there? So that's a little exercise. If you can close your eyes and imagine that in your mind's eye, the movement around you and the anticipation fill you, it will show you, where do you want to go and how do you want to get there. So again, manifesting. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it with the magician. So pretty good read, guys. I'm going to leave your reading there. I hope you've enjoyed this spread again. I'm hoping to be back to do the mid-month June readings, and if not, I will see you all back for July's life path readings anyway. So I wish you a very magical magician June, and take care all, and we will talk again all soon.